Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're a coin lover or treasure hunter, get ready, because today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and classic American coins of the 20th century, the 1956 D. Lincoln Wheat penny. This tiny copper coin might look simple, but it carries decades of history, beauty, and even hidden value that collectors still search for today. Some of these pennies have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition, mint eras, and rarity. So stay tuned till the end, because I'll reveal how much your 1956 D penny could be worth in the 2025 coin market in US dollars. The 1956 D. Lincoln Wheat penny was minted in the United States at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small d mint mark located just below the date on the coin's obverse side. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln Wheat cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials VB are found at the bottom of the coin on some issues. By 1956, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most beloved and widely circulated coins in American history. The US economy was booming after World War II, and millions of these pennies were produced to meet the demand for everyday transactions. In fact, the Denver Mint alone produced over 1.098 billion Lincoln Wheat pennies in 1956, an enormous number for that time. Design details. On the obverse side, the coin features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left side is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the date 1956 with the D mint mark beneath it. The reverse side displays the iconic wheat ears design, two wheat stalks curving along the sides, enclosing the words 1 cent and United States of America. The top reads E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many one. This wheat reverse design remained until 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. That makes the 1956 D among the final years of the Wheat penny series, a reason it remains a favorite among collectors who love the classic design and nostalgic charm. Composition and weight. The 1956 D. Lincoln cent is composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it that rich reddish-brown tone that collectors appreciate. The coin weighs about 3.11 grams and has a 19mm diameter. Because of its copper content, the coin also has an intrinsic metal value that fluctuates slightly depending on copper prices, though its collector value is much higher. Rarity and era varieties. Even though the 1956 D penny was minted in huge numbers, certain varieties and eras can make them quite valuable today. Some of the most well-known eras include double die obverse DDO, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled. Repunched mint mark RPM. You might find a D over D, where the Denver Mint mark was struck twice. These can be worth far more than regular coins. Off-center strike, where part of the design is missing due to misalignment during minting. Die cracks or cuds, small raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin surface caused by die damage. Collectors actively look for these errors, and prices can rise dramatically based on the rarity and clarity of the error. Condition and grading. The coin's value also depends heavily on its condition or grade. Coins are typically graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor P1 to mint state MS70. In fine F12 condition, your 1956 D penny shows moderate, where but still has visible design details, especially on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks. In very fine VF20, it shows only light where with sharper details. In extremely fine EF40, the coin retains much of its original luster. In uncirculated MS 60 to MS65, the coin may appear bright, shiny, and almost new, with minimal handling marks. Uncirculated and high-grade specimens, especially with rare mint errors, are the ones that reach impressive auction prices. Collector demand and market trends. Lincoln Wheat pennies have always been popular among collectors, both beginners and professionals. Their affordable entry price and rich history make them an easy and exciting start for anyone getting into coin collecting. Over the years, the demand for wheat pennies like the 1956 D has remained steady, particularly for coins in uncirculated red or red-brown condition. Coin dealers and collectors often buy these in bulk, hoping to find varieties or better grades. Online marketplaces such as eBay and heritage auctions frequently show bidding activity for this coin, showing how active its market still is. 2025 dollar market value. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the 2025 coin market value of the 1956 D. Lincoln wheat cent. As of the 2025 collector market. In fine F12 condition, the 1956 D penny is typically worth around 10 cents to 20 cents USD, mainly for its copper and collectible value. In very fine VF20 condition, it can reach 30 cents to 50 cents. In extremely fine EF40 condition, expect around 75 cents to $1. In uncirculated MS 60 to MS 63 grades, prices rise from $2 up to $4. A brilliant red MS 65 or higher, especially with a clean surface and luster, can sell for $10 to $25. And if you have a rare mint error, such as a D over D RPM or double die obverse, the value can jump dramatically, from $100 up to even $1,000 or more, depending on the clarity and certification. So, while most 1956 D pennies are common in circulated condition, the true value lies in pristine examples, or those with striking errors. In conclusion, the 1956 D. Lincoln wheat penny is not just an old coin. It's a beautiful reminder of mid-century American craftsmanship, history, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Whether you find one in your change jar or inherited a roll from your grandparents, it's worth taking a closer look. You might be holding a hidden treasure worth far more than a single cent. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1956 D penny, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more coin stories, values, and discoveries. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in US history, the 1982 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, minted in the United States of America. This coin may look like an ordinary penny to the untrained eye, but in the world of numismatics, the 1982 D. penny holds a truly special place. Whether you are a collector, investor, or just a curious viewer, this episode will take you through every detail, from its history, metal composition, and mintage figures to its current 2025 market value in US dollars. The 1982 Lincoln cent marks an important transition year for the US Mint. Until 1982, pennies were made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But due to the rising cost of copper, the composition changed mid-year to 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. This means that 1982 pennies can be found in both copper and zinc versions. The D mint mark, located just below the date on the obverse side, shows that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. Because both compositions were made that year, collectors pay close attention to the coin's weight. Copper cents weigh about 3.11 grams, while zinc cents weigh about 2.5 grams. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909 to celebrate Lincoln's 100th birthday. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, with the words United States of America and 1 cent inscribed. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, a remarkable detail for such a small coin. Now, when it comes to rarity and value, the 1982 D penny has several varieties, including large date and small date types in both copper and zinc compositions. Most are common and found in circulation, but certain variations, especially the 1982 D small date copper penny, are considered extremely rare. This specific variety was not supposed to exist, but a few examples were struck using leftover copper planchets, making them highly desirable among collectors. Only a handful are confirmed to exist, and they can fetch thousands of dollars in auctions. In 2025's collector market, the value of a regular 1982 D zinc penny in circulated condition is about 2 cents to 5 cents, mainly due to its face value and metal content. However, uncirculated coins with brilliant luster and full details can sell for $1 to $3 depending on condition. In MS 65 red, mint state, grade, a pristine example might reach $5 to $10. The copper version, if verified by weight, can go for $1 to $20 depending on condition. But if you're lucky enough to have the rare 1982 D small date copper penny, you're holding a treasure. Recent sales and expert estimates suggest that such coins can bring in $10,000 to $20,000 or even more depending on the grade and market demand in 2025. In some auction houses, examples have reached over $18,000 for high mint state specimens. So before you overlook any old pennies in your change jar, check the date, mint mark, and most importantly, the weight. A simple digital scale can make all the difference between a common cent and a life-changing discovery. In short, the 1982 D. Lincoln 1 cent stands as a historic turning point in American coinage. A small coin that tells a big story of economic change, craftsmanship, and hidden value. Even today, collectors across the US continue to search for these rare copper variants, making 1982 one of the most exciting years in penny history. So, keep your eyes open, coin lovers. The next time you spot a shiny old 1982 D penny, it might just be worth far more than 1 cent. Now let's go even deeper into the story, design, and collecting journey of the 1982 D. Lincoln penny, because this small coin truly reflects a turning point in America's monetary history. When the US Mint decided to change the penny's metal composition in 1982, it wasn't just a technical shift. It symbolized the growing economic pressure of rising material costs. Copper had become so expensive that by 1982, it cost more than 1 cent to produce a single penny. That's why the mint transitioned to a zinc core with only a thin copper plating. But during this changeover, a fascinating situation unfolded. Some leftover copper planchets were still in the presses at the Denver Mint, and those were accidentally struck with the 1982 D dies, creating the ultra-rare 1982 D small date copper cent that collectors dream of today. Because of this, the 1982 D penny isn't just a coin, it's a piece of living history. It shows how even tiny changes in the economy can leave behind treasures waiting to be found. When you hold one in your hand, you're holding a little chapter of America's story, from the industrial transition of the 1980s to the pride of the Lincoln legacy that began back in 1909. Collectors today look for sharp strikes, full red luster, and clean surfaces with minimal contact marks. A coin graded MS 67 red is considered near perfection, and coins like that are usually found only in old mint rolls or collector sets that have been safely stored for decades. The market for 1982 D pennies in 2025 has stayed surprisingly strong. Even though billions were minted, the hunt for varieties and the hope of discovering the copper version keeps collectors excited. Auction sites and numismatic forums show continuous trade of these coins, especially certified examples in top grades. The regular 1982 D zinc penny might only bring a few cents, but a brilliant uncirculated red example certified by PCGS or NGC can fetch around $8 to $12. The copper large date version, though more common, can still go for $15 to $30 depending on color and luster. But the true star remains the 1982 D small date copper. In recent years, these coins have appeared in high-end auctions, sometimes breaking new records. A verified example graded MS 64 red-brown has sold for more than $18,000, and experts believe that higher-grade pieces could cross the $25,000 mark in 2025 if the coin is well preserved and has full mint brilliance. So, if you're sorting your change or going through old jars of coins from your parents or grandparents, take a few extra seconds to look at the 1982 date and mint mark. Weigh your coins. Copper ones will read around 3.11 grams, while the common zinc ones will show 2.5 grams. This simple test can tell you whether you're holding a rare treasure or a regular penny. It's amazing to think that even today, more than 40 years later, these tiny coins still capture so much attention from collectors all around the world. People are fascinated by how such small differences, like a large date or small date, can turn an ordinary coin into a fortune. The 1982 D. Lincoln cent teaches an important lesson. Never underestimate the value of the smallest things. In the world of coins, even a penny can change your life if you know what to look for.